Hello, hello. No, it's not. I think one more, right? Actually, one more. Woo. That one's a hard one. Okay. Hello, hello. Is there anything new? Not exactly sure. Okay. Chat viewing options. I can see all. I don't think I have anything new for for now. Oh, jump scare. Okay, I think there's 5 of us on. Hello, hello. That was just me warming up because there was no one really here yet. And looking at the live, that took me about 7 minutes to do. Yeah, so today is gonna be all about practicing, all about yapping, just having fun with it in preparation for a few things, and also just to like clear my mind, clear your mind. Yeah, so yeah, the reason why I went, oh, is because I saw my friend Carlos comment, so that's great. I don't know if there's a way if I can see all the comments at once. That's why I'm trying to see if I can, because it looks like it's just only specific ones popping up every now and then, at least on this view. Let me see if I can log on to YouTube and maybe I can see that. I don't know. But it would be nice not to miss all of those comments because then I'll feel bad afterwards. Let's see. Okay. Boom. That's me. Watch there be like an ad pop up and then all of a sudden you just like, okay, turn that down. Okay. Let's see, skip ad. Cool. Get to see my face. Okay. If chat, can I scroll? Yes. Okay, yes. So we had Goblin's Dreamland say, hey, hey, and hi. And then we have Juan Carlos Ozuna, violinist, saying, yay. So yes, we have hays and we have yays. So yeah, today I will be mostly practicing, and then we could also talk about things in between, whether it be practice tips, stuff about classical music, about anime, about pop culture. I'm here to do that, whether it be Alien Stage, whether it be, I don't know, like plans for YouTube. Yeah, but mainly I'll be practicing some Mozart today. So this is Mozart's third violin concerto in preparation for a violin competition, or not violin competition, but more solo competition that I won. And yeah, so that's the piece that I'll be playing, the first movement of the concerto. And I thought it would be nice to just, I don't know, just show how I practice, what I specifically focus on, as big as that. And it's actually my first time. 26 throwback, hello. So yeah, very new experience. So that's cool. I just put my pad up there just in case there's spots that I want to look at. But yeah, there are definitely some spots I already have in mind. You might be hearing a metronome right next to your ear for a good chunk of this live stream. But yeah, so are there any, oh wait, this is also bad because I can't see my screen in case anyone comments. Okay, this is also, hello, I forgot what I was gonna say. Isn't this great? Can you tell I'm still new to live streaming? I don't know, like again, when I mainly did this, it was like what? Quarantine time, 2020, 2021. So bear with me. Yeah. Okay, so there are spots that I would like to go over. And in the meantime, are there any questions, comments, concerns, any of that sort? As I get this set up, yeah, you could go ahead and do that right now. In fact, something I would want to do is I kind of want to like have this live stream going, and then also when I set up my like Tonic account. So like Tonic, I guess, is like an app co-created by like Ray Chen, I believe. In regards to just promoting, practicing, and kind of like a practice community where you can listen to each other. And I would kind of like to do that simultaneously. So yeah. Hey, other four people, switching my other account real quick. I'll be back in a few. Cute. So yeah, Goblin's Dreamland says hi to the other people in the chat, which is really nice. Speaking of community, so that's great. Okay, and see you soon. So if there's not any questions, I think I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this Mozart. So if you're not really familiar with this Mozart concerto, it's the one that goes. And so on. So I'll be working on that today? Yes, cool. So there's a spot in like this developmental section in the middle where it gets very minor. In fact, I'll play that for you right now. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there. Simply because I can already feel myself rushing. I think the tendency is for people to rush during that spot, at least for me, is because this motion of the finger right, and then is that there's a lot of like trill like fingers going on, but everything is metered. They're all 16th notes. So I just need to tell myself to take a chill pill, and we're gonna do two types of metronome. So I'm gonna do ones directly on the beat. So and go from there. Let's see. Audible. My ideal tempo for this piece is like 110 to 115. I find myself going at like 120 or exceeding 120, which shouldn't be the case, even though I can play it at that speed, but I need to take a chill pill. So let's do 110 just to force myself to kind of relax a bit. That was really kind of what's the fingering? Okay. No. Yeah, that's better. Okay. One more time, same spot. No. Can you tell she's a perfectionist yet? God, okay. Same spot again. It's that fingering. Better, okay. Yeah. And then it goes back. I still feel myself pushing. Okay. Now the next thing we're gonna do, or no, not yet. Let's keep doing metronome with the beats. 115. So just a little bit ramped up. Okay. da 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 and. See that? Ah! Okay, again. Okay, I felt the need to go on just because I wanted to play through it. Okay, so we actually have some comments here. So we have, hi, I'm back. Simply Ash Plays. Hello. And then, oh yeah, this is my new account, by the way. LOL. Sorry. And hi, Ash. Cool. So that was from Sua is my daughter. Isn't Sua all of our daughters? Yep. We love Sua here. I love Sua. Sua, literally, hair length, almost Sua. Just. Did you hear my stomach right now? Oh my god, that was crazy. Sorry. I'm like so distracted. But yeah, we love Sua. We love a good metronome. And my stomach says it loves food. Anyways, yeah, I still feel like my fingers are kind of getting a little That part was clean, but it's the beginning. Yeah. We want to hear every single chromatic. Better. Okay. And then, Simply Ash Plays. Any vibrato tips? I'm still learning. You know, it's lovely that you bring that up because I received an email the other day from a viewer on this channel, a viewer of my channel, and they were actually asking for vibrato tips as well. Again, if I don't see or directly comment or elaborate on your comments on this live, always feel free to reach out through Instagram DM or tips on this kind of situation. Yeah, any questions that you have or things you want elaborated on, feel free to like Instagram DM me or even comment it down through my YouTube posts. So like, you know, like that community posts area, or even email me. Yeah, so my email should be on there. It's also on my Instagram. And yeah, I should get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to be making a vibrato video soon. I would like to touch on vibrato as it's something, you know, it's like the same thing as like the bow hold, right? My bow hold's changed over the years. It's still changing. It still needs work. Same thing goes for vibrato. It's a whole journey. And there's different types of vibrato, different methods, and it's like your personal flair. So maybe my vibrato isn't to your taste, but if you're asking me questions on my vibrato, then maybe you do like my vibrato, I don't know. And I can teach you on how I learned to improve it, because vibrato was something that I was absolutely insecure about getting into classical music, and kind of still am. So yeah, it's a whole learning process, and I'm so looking forward to touching up on that, or just sharing my experience and my personal tips and tricks on that. So Sua is my daughter then says, wait, if we go on to tips, then any tips on this kind of situation? Are you talking about like performance tips, like tips on preparing for performances or for like competitions or something like that? Is that the question? Oh, okay. Sorry, I sent it too early. I don't know how to label it. Like, I have a grade piece in which I have to shorten a note and then go straight into the song again. But I keep accidentally resting. This is great. So which I have to shorten a note and then go straight into the song again, but keep accidentally resting. I think, okay, hold on. I'm trying to comprehend. So you have a piece which you have to shorten a note, then go straight into the song again, but keep accidentally resting. So you have to shorten a note. You know, it'd be easier if I could see the sheet music. In fact, you could go on my Instagram and literally email me a picture of that sheet music, and then maybe I can touch on it and look at it. Yeah. So I can see. But I was actually talking to my group of students about this, and if it's like, okay, shortening a note, maybe this might deal with plucking to bowing. That's completely fine. So let's say it's like you're like plucking. You're just gonna have to practice. Preparing to pluck. So me personally, if this is dealing with plucking or bowing, whatever, I like plucking with my index finger and with my bow hold already. Some people will grab like this, and you know, if it's like longer passages, like I don't know, like that one movement or that Tchaikovsky symphony, right? You can hold on here and pluck. But I mean, if it's just a short passage or something, then you can pluck here. Still equally as strong. Still equally as strong. And then all that's left to do is practice switching from bowing, arco, pizzicato, arco, pizzicato, arca, pizzicato, arco, pizzicato, arco, pizzicato, and just keep going. Yeah. Okay. What else? Yeah, that's just the main thing. And then for some reason, my beginners are learning Colegno in their piece, which is, for all my non-violinists or classical musicians out there, Colegno is when, for the bow, okay, you usually play with the hair, right? But you play with the stick. And for me personally, I just like turning the stick toward the outside, not towards me. Oh wait, how do I do it? Yeah, I actually turn it towards me, LOL. Not this way. Even though some people think it's easier, I just think it kind of like hurts my, like I feel my hand is a little stiffer and the wrist at an awkward spot. So I actually turn it away, the hair away from me. And sometimes you can just also grab here as well. Okay, enough of that. New comments, and then I'm gonna go back into Mozart since that's what I have to do. Okay, so is my daughter. Simply Ash Plays recommends, maybe you can send the name of the piece and the composer and then what bar you're up to. Okay, wait, I keep on forgetting the name, but the notes where you have to like email in your bio, could I send it there? Don't have Insta, sorry. Sure, so let me comment my music at gmail.com. Let me press the enter button. Voila, there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to continue this Mozart. The next step that my the teacher that I'm currently studying with recommends is that putting a metronome on like maybe just for the measure or like 2 beats per measure. So that means we're slowing it down. So if it was at 115 and 50 is half of 100, maybe like at 60-ish or like 50 something. So this is 2 beats. Okay. I'm gonna bring it down to 50. Okay, again, wait. So, the purpose of this is to not only allow me to like be in line every first beat and third beat, yeah, but more so give me room to phrase and also realize where I need to get back on track, especially for beat 1. Okay, so yeah, just to kind of like play more musically and also within the time signature. So here, let's see. Oh wait, yeah, and everything. Hold on. Oh, because it's in 4/4. I need it in 2/4. 2/4, 2/4. That's gonna help me better. Okay. Don't do that. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. It feels so awkward doing this because I'm so used to hearing metronome on every beat, but this is an interesting exercise. Okay. Rushing. Or maybe I can just slow down myself, mayhaps. Okay, better, but I think I can do better, right? That's always the goal of practicing. Getting better, doing better, feeling things better, right? Man. Okay, I think that feels a little better. Now I'm gonna ramp up the speed a little bit. This is by 5 BPM more. So I'm actually at 56 beats per minute. Okay? So taka 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 taka. Don't do that, don't do that. Fix that. You know, it's interesting because I don't normally practice sitting down, and it's just getting to me right now. You know, you practice in different circumstances. What if you have to sit down during a performance? Don't know. So I will practice sitting down, especially, yeah, some posture things. You know, practice sitting down. Okay. You see, you hear everything that's going on in my mind right now. Okay. Wait, is that a down bow? Again. Okay, better. Yeah, it's just so interesting trying to phrase with it. It's so interesting. Ah. Again. Again. One more time. Okay. Down. Better. And. One more time. Now looking good. Okay, good. Better. Yeah. It's just trying to play with a musically skewed way of playing it versus being metrically on. Yeah. And I do find where my tendencies to rush are. Okay. That's good. I think I'm gonna do this also for like the beginning too, which is gonna be fun. Now, I want to do this. What if we do one beat? So if I put it on 20, nah, it's fine. Let's do, there's a section that I want to touch on, which is this one. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'm done with sitting down. I need to stand up. So you'll see how short I am in person. Fun. Okay. Buddy. Oh. Wait, BRB, I'm making cupcakes right now. Super cute. What flavor are you making? In fact, you can put this as ambiance if you want. But yeah, cupcakes sound good. What cupcake am I creating right now? I just love sweets. My gosh. Cupcake. Okay. Visualize the cupcake. How sweet the cupcake is. This piece needs to be as sweet as the cupcakes you're making right now. This section of the piece completely different from everything else. That's the mood. That's what we're trying to convey here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Nope. Already failed. Anyways, let's continue. I need to lift that 3, bro. I hate this. So pretty. Okay, again. Okay, kind of, sort of, maybe. Back, hey. Okay, I'm going to actually open this free show. Hey guys. Let's see. Okay, this might be better. Girl, chill. Let's see. Sorry, I tried to find it anywhere. It's one of those little weird pieces that no one knows. I'm going to try myself to explain this though. Staccato note, but there's no rest. So I have to go right back into it, and it's really hard for some reason. Staccato note, but there's no rest. So I have to go right back into it. Because then I go off time with the piano accompaniment and it's stressing me out so much. Interesting. Do you know the duration of that note? Is it a quarter note? Is it like a half note? Is it a eighth note? Yeah. And then can you show us how you do vibrato, please? Okay. Well, in a second, since this is also a very, what do you call this? Like almost cantabile like section, very cutesy, very pretty. Not cutesy, actually very pretty. Yeah, very, I guess more legato section. So yes, I will simply Ash plays. But yeah, for Sua is my daughter. Is it like a eighth note, quarter note? Anyways, back to this. So flat. And I need to stop. That is going to be a really bad habit if I don't stop doing that. What's causing me to do that? I'm going to watch my hand. Yeah, I'm not picking up my third finger high enough. Okay, if I can remember, it's okay, give me a second. This is from the English versus American English music note. hold on. What is duration? Yeah, different here. Let's see. Okay, so it is a quarter note. It's a quarter note. At least that's what we call it, right? Right? Yes, a quarter note. Okay. Let's see. Quarter note, so let's see. I'll do it in G major since I'm in G major. Staccato. Let's see. One of the things is that, like I did, practicing with metronome is going to be really good for you. And maybe that's been said before. So if I were to put out my metronome here, let's do a 90. And let's do it in 4/4. I don't know what time signature your piece may be in, but 4/4. So we have. Okay. So it's all about keeping that steady pulse. And then you could do it without the metronome too. Ready, and. So, yeah, keeping a steady pulse, metronome will help with that. Maybe you're putting the note a little too long, or your staccatos are more legato. So for staccato sound, shorter is better. Make sure you're on the string, applying that pressure, right? Not so much staccato or brush stroke, more on the string. And the thing that's lovely about staccato is that think of like a rubber band, right? And you put like your bow on the string to start that staccato. Do you see how like it's kind of like stuck on the string thanks to the rosin, thanks to the pressure? It's making that fart sound. You know, very helpful to stop us from going into that next note or from making it too long. So that's what I find important. Again, like a rubber band. I have a scrunchie here. Like, I'm going to give you an analogy because this works for my private student. If I were to have this rubber band here, and let's say this is like my staccato stroke, okay? Like, you can feel the tension. Grab it like a hair tie or a rubber band or anything. You can feel the pressure or just the elasticity of the rubber band, right, against your fingers. Essentially, if I had to think about staccato, it's like the bow hairs. How would I say it? Would the bow hairs be the fingers, or would it be the band itself? I would say the string of the violin is the finger, or the fingers, and this is more so the rubber band. Because you see, it's like physics, right? We're pulling, and then we release. Pull and release. And you can feel that pressure. Do you see how I'm able to move the bow side to side, but not so up and down? In fact, if I were to do this in 4K, maybe you can see it on the A string. Nah, the G is awesome. If you look at the G string, do you see it slightly moving? Yeah, because of the pressure. So try that with the metronome. Make sure you're doing your staccato properly. Always ask your teacher if you're doing it correctly. Recording yourself is going to help. So yeah, start with a metronome. Get that internal pulse, and then work your way up from there. Let me know what works, okay? Okay, back to the Mozart. Again, it's this stupid, like, ornamentation that I can't get, and I don't want to change fingerings 2 weeks out, but I might have to, so. Okay, nice. That's actually, I guess, the best I played it for now. On to Simply Ash's plays comment on, can you show us how you do vibrato? So yeah, you can, maybe I'll go a little closer to see if you want to see my fingers. I can work on that. So, if you're watching my fingers closely, I mainly use wrist vibrato. So it's more this motion, rocking back the wrist back and forth. Okay, rocking that back and forth. And some other people use arm vibrato, which is like more like this motion, if you can see my arm moving. Yeah, I primarily learned through wrist, and I was mainly self-taught before going into community college. And that's when I realized, oh shoot, my vibrato is too tense. It doesn't have much speed. Oh, I use wrist vibrato too. That's great, perfect. So if anything that I learned, well, that's what I'm learning. Okay, cool. If anything that I have to give, like a word of advice that I would give you to any person that's learning vibrato or that wants to improve their vibrato, and before I create a video on vibrato, hopefully soon, so that can help you out, the key piece of advice would be that looseness is key, okay? Looseness is key. A very conscious mind and like mind and body connection, I think is so important. So one of the exercises, I just can't move my wrist then my bow at the same time. So one of the exercises is you would put a metronome on and you would go and oscillate, meaning you could go back and forth between two notes on the like tip of your finger, or depending on what kind of vibrato you're doing, with different rhythms. So I'm going to start with eighth notes first. Like this. And mainly you'd want to start on the higher up of the string. So I think I'm going to do it in third position. So you'd go like this. Oh wait, that's quarter notes. Then you can do eighth notes. Then you do triplets. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 1. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. Then you can do 4 notes at a time. Da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba, and. Then 5 notes. That felt like 6, but you get the gist. Is that you apply these rhythms because at the end of the day, vibrato is mainly just unnotated rhythms, movements of the fingers that are literally like within reasonable time. So yeah, I would start there, and I think that will also help the problem with your bow, because again, because it's supposed to be more of a conscious, at first, a conscious effort to make things more rhythmic. At least that's how we like start off when learning vibrato. Then the bow will follow suit. There's different types. What? I've been playing violin for almost 5 years, but didn't have the best teacher for the past 3. Is it more about moving your wrist than moving your finger? Again, my key word of advice is mind and body connection plus looseness. It's more than just the wrist and the finger. I think it's being more in tune with your body. So other than the wrist and the finger, we also kind of have the forearm working as well. We don't just have the finger alone moving. We have the different joints of the finger, okay? Like we have this, and we have this, and we have this working. For the wrist movement, it's not primarily like this, but more so like this, pronating this way. So do we see how there's like a lot of, I guess, like elements that we don't really take into consideration that we end up realizing that vibrato is just more than, is it wrist, finger, or arm? It's more so, what parts, internal parts of the body am I moving from muscles and joints and bones that I'm literally moving and utilizing in order to create vibrato? So yeah, it's more than arm versus a wrist. Yeah. So 2 key things, right? Becoming more conscious, in tune, right? Mind and body connection. Okay. I'm going to move this joint. Okay, I'm moving that joint. I'm going to move my wrist. Okay, I'm moving my wrist, right? Putting that mind and muscle power together. And then looseness, okay? So usually before I play, I recommend, do your wrist circles, shake it out a little bit, stretch your arms, right? Open and close them. And I will get more into this when I make a vibrato video, hopefully soon. If I can get it done by this month, maybe by April at the latest. But in the meantime, those are the tips that I can mainly give you that have allowed me to become successful, and the elaboration will come in the future when I do so. Next question. Is it worth it to buy a metronome? I might get one, but I'm scared in case I don't get much use out of it. When you have an instrument, I will tell you right now, that metronome will become your best friend, okay? So when you have a chance to use a metronome helps you get that steady tempo. As you saw, that allowed me to kind of get better with like my Mozart passage, right? Again, that felt, wow, steady to me. It helps with that steadiness. It will help with your staccato problem as well. Yeah. Now, in regards to purchasing a metronome, I know there's metronomes you can purchase. You can purchase the one that looks like this, and then it like sways back and forth like that. Right? There's ones that's just like a little mini speaker that you can purchase. But again, there's also apps available to you. Yes, like Simply Ash Plays literally just said, you can use apps as well. Personally, I use Sound Corset. It has a tuner as well. Yes, so there's that. In this app that I paid for that stores all of my sheet music called Fourscore, it has a built-in metronome, and it also has a tuner and drones as well. Unofficial sponsor. Hello. And what do you call this? Yeah, so there are definitely free alternatives if you go on Google or whatever browser that you use. At least for Google, if you search up metronome, it already has an available metronome to you. You could adjust the BPMs, but it's just like iffy on not hearing specific. Like if you want to change time signatures, it's just giving you a and nothing else different. So yeah, you can use that. There's also other websites. If you search up metronome, click, boom. Just make sure it's safe for your browser. Yeah. So yeah, there's free alternatives. You could purchase them. There's apps, websites. Yeah, just know of your resources. Do that research. But I would definitely recommend getting a metronome, using a metronome. So yeah, if you're working on that staccato, if you're working on making sure you're coming in on time, you're not too late, metronome's gonna help you with that. When you're in the first, you're first learning vibrato or need to polish it, metronome's your best friend. If you're working on passages such as me and have a tendency to rush because there's so many notes happening and because the motion between the fingers can be so quick, getting that steady tempo, metronome's gonna help with that. So yeah, metronome's gonna be your best friend when it comes to music. So yeah, go for it. Get that metronome, girl. He, she, they, that. Yeah. So yeah, get that metronome. Awesome. Okay, so yeah. That was good. That was pretty good. Okay. I'm so scared. Oh, okay. Well, I have to go now. Goodbye. Please make the vibrato tutorial soon because I still can't do it. For sure, I will make a vibrato tutorial. This is second, third person that has recommended it. So thank you for recommending that. Simply Ash Plays. It was nice chatting with you. Thank you. I'm so scared to tune my violin. My E string snapped about 2 to 3 times in the same week. I don't think that's normal. E string snapped about 2 to 3 times in the same week. So I genuinely just leave it to my teachers. Yeah. Maybe leave it to your teachers? How did that happen? You're tuning with fine tuners, which are the tuners down here, or are you tuning with pegs? I mean, if you say you've been playing for 5 years, it could be either or. So I would like to know. Sometimes tuning with pegs, it can be tricky. Especially that E string. It's very, very nuanced tuning when you're tuning with the E string. And, it takes, I guess time and experience, figuring out how to like do the proper like movements, feeling the string against the peg on how much you need to do that. In fact, I might do a video changing my strings because I should be changing my strings soon. Because a colleague of mine mentioned, yeah, you should change your strings maybe like every 3 months since you're playing in university and playing so often as a performance major. And I'm like, oh, but yeah, I don't think your E string should snap that often. And gosh, I feel so bad for your wallet and your pockets because, and your bank account because strings are quite pricey depending on what strings you're using. Yeah, wow. Yeah, scary. But yeah, that was. Ooh, I might. You know what? I might change the fingering. Oh. I might change the fingering at the end of the day. I don't even know. It was even with tuning one time. I literally opened my case and it was just gone. The other one snapped right as I entered my lesson. Gosh, I wonder what happened then. Might be the weather. Is it cold where you live? Or maybe are you storing your instrument in an area where it's cold? Because usually there's a tendency, right? Whenever we store our instrument in cooler places, they tend to constrict. And that creates the strings to become tighter and tighter and tighter. That's why they become sharper and sharper, meaning they're tighter and tighter. And then, boom, there's a tendency for them to just snap. That might be why. So make sure you store your violin in a safe, decent temperatured home. Is that how you say that? In fact, let me see. There's actually research that goes into it on what temperature do I store my violin? Let's see. 68 to 72 Fahrenheit out of the sun. Oh, some people say 60 to 70 degrees. Okay. So 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's Fahrenheit. Someone do the math. Someone convert to Celsius. So wait. 60 degrees Fahrenheit. 60 So that's 15 degrees Celsius. Maybe like 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. Maybe. Yeah. Store in proper place. Okay. So now, if I'm thinking of changing the fingering. So I guess it's a universal thing where I'm pressing too much, regardless of whatever fingering. But it sounds more clarity if I use that. You know, I will. Don't do that. Too jazzy. Yeah, I will change that finger. Yeah, I will. Okay, cool. Deciding factor. So we did the metronome and we did work on that spot. Another spot. Yeah, I can do. Do we have? one was good. I need to like stop brushing. Okay. Okay, better. So yeah, what I wanted to work on there is just sometimes I have a tendency to kind of trip up against the strings. That one's the worst one. Like this one's hard. I can do it. It's when I have to do the string crossing to the other string. Yeah, little tricky, but you know what? Why not, right? Yeah. Okay, it is 4:07. There's 2 individuals on the live. Okay, so I think I'm gonna close up shop here, actually. Or, yeah, I'm kind of just fearing copyright, but yeah, maybe let's see how I can get through this cadenza. Let's see. works. I know the places that I need to polish up a little bit more. It got a little bit better. One of the ones I was worried about actually that turned out okay today. I guess we have good days and bad days, right? Is the actually turned out okay today. So that was another problem spot. More clarity. Yeah. Okay. Cool. YOLO. Fun. So yeah, those were some of the problem spots that I was a little bit worried about. And I have more spots that I would like to do, and maybe I can do another one of these sessions and notify you guys a little sooner. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today's practice and yap session, at least the practice portion. Any questions, comments, or concerns for me? You know, one thing I kind of want to talk about, or yeah, it was a whole comment that Timothée Chalamet made, which was kind of a iffy, right? Let's see. Timothée Chalamet comment. Let's see. I want to read that whole thing again. I don't want to be working in ballet or opera where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there. I just lost 14 cents in viewership. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I mentioned that I did want to chat about this a little bit. I just feel like it's like nowadays, or just in general, like there's this saying of think before you speak. And I think you saw me not doing a lot of that today, as I'm like just like speaking like, oh, that was bad. Oh, that was interesting, right? But I think like when you're on like a talk show or whatever sort he was on, and you know that you have a following and a bunch of people watching you live, whether it be in that venue or on TV or some other device. I feel like, you know, especially him as a celebrity, it should be a little more, I don't know, like, you kind of know that you have to be careful with what you say. And thinking about where he comes from, with like arts and all that stuff, you know, usually things die simply because of new things coming into fashion, and we think about like movie theaters, some of them going away because of streaming services and stuff like this and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, it's the same thing where art doesn't become as appreciated or lost simply because of people like himself that say such things without remorse or without thinking, that influence the individuals that follow him and watch him. You know what I mean? So I think this is a nice closing statement for today's live, to just kind of think before you speak, and just do your research and live each day with gratitude, because without opera and ballet we wouldn't have, I don't know, like, or even like the classics, the so-called classics and classical music, different eras, Baroque, romantic, you have like all of that stuff. Without any of that stuff happening or occurring or us knowing about it today, we wouldn't have evolved into who we are culturally and artistically as we are today, right? So many influences from the past. So yeah, it's not that it's old. Stuff is still being celebrated in nuanced ways. And yeah. And also we have to take into consideration how much ballet and opera costs, and how much work is put into it. So yeah. All due respect, actual respect to artists out there, whether you're in ballet or opera or on TV shows or movies, you know. there should just be a mutual respect and understanding that, people work on things, and have different skill sets, different interests, and although that may be your opinion, it's just kind of, I don't know, like, insensitive. So yes, live each day with gratitude. Live with an open mind. Think about the people and the arts and the things around you, and what would life be like without such things? Yeah, live with gratefulness. Live with gratitude. Live with open mindedness. Live with reflection and contemplation, and just, eyes, um, reflecting internally and externally. Yeah, I think that's just the most important thing that we need nowadays. So yeah, without further ado, this is pretty much the last bit of this live. Hope I was able to answer some questions. Hope you were able to get some strategies from me as I experimented with different methods, different fingerings, different metronome markings, etc., today. And yeah, hopefully I can notify you all about this earlier. Yeah, because I just decided on a whim, like, let's practice live. And it's good practice for me, especially considering I need to practice in front of people, you know? So yeah, maybe I'll do full run of the concerto and hopefully pray that I don't get like copyrighted or something. I don't know. Maybe my rendition is too, I don't know, authentic to myself. That won't happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today. Really enjoyed chatting and playing for you. And yeah, last I'm gonna until that live says like 78. Any questions or comments for me? I'm just gonna put this violin away and then come back, and hopefully maybe there's a question or comment or something. So yeah, give me a second. Let's see. Oddly enough, you know what, like, I've been obsessed with lately? It's that old Mitski cover that started trending of How Deep Is Your Love by Ellie, is it Goulding? I forgot how to pronounce her name, but I was like obsessed with her, like, 2000, like, music in like the 2010s. I was just pure vibes. Little me vibing to such music. Yeah, it's just, that cover is so good. And the edits with that cover, like, there's like so many Alien Stage edits to that cover, and it's so good. Yeah, gosh, anyways, much respect to the editors, seriously. Okay, yeah, so I do not see, we have like 10 seconds left. If there are any other questions or comments, there are 2 people watching now. Maybe the other people left because they're like, yeah, I'm done. But yeah, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I genuinely appreciate it, and looking forward to myself improving day by day and your improvement as well. Again, don't be afraid to message me through email or Instagram or YouTube comments or something, and hopefully I will come across it and be able to reply as soon as I can. So yeah, thank you so much for coming today, and cheers to next time. Okay, and actually, recital, my recital / concert titled Anime is on May 2nd at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. You can check that information on my Instagram, and you can also check that this concerto competition performance that I am preparing for you at the Mozart's Third Violin Concerto, the first movement of it, is on March 21st. So we're at like 2 weeks, 2 days, gosh, 2 weeks away. So yeah. Okay, this is Sua is my daughter. Bye. This was so fun. Yes, and thank you for your insightful comments that allowed me to think of teaching methods on the fly and what has been successful for me and my students. So yeah, I hope it's equally as successful as it was for me and them as it for you. And I also hope that you do consider getting that metronome. Yeah, I believe in you. Full belief, full trust, full, just best of luck to you. Yeah. Okay. And thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye. Let's see. How do I end this way? Oh, there's an X button. Gosh. Okay.